Hi Floss 2, welcome back to Warm Stitchy Memories. My name is Melissa. Let's see. I'm MJ Nuttall in the Floss Tube community and in the Facebook groups. I am here specifically with the Stitchy Kindness video, and then I hope to finish it up after I get some yard work done with a current whips video as well. But this is so important to me to go ahead and get this out here because I'm in the planning stages for everything that I received from the Stitchy Kindness. So I'm so excited I have to share it with somebody. So I received a rather large priority box. I'm staying with some friends, kind of helping them with their dog and some cleaning. One of my friends has a form of cancer and the house needs to be extremely clean, and neither of them can kind of keep up with it. One travels a lot with business, the other travels a lot taking care of the grandbabies, so they need kind of someone who can kind of be here every day to do the deep dusting and things that need to be done, and then also to take care of the puppers. So let me even see if I can get this big box up here. It's a big big box, and it arrived, and the one friend here is a car enthusiast and has a show muscle car. So I just assumed it was auto parts because, that's... And when I saw that it was to me, I was so totally surprised and so totally happy. And some of it is already out and started. So if that tells you how excited I am about it. I believe there was some fabrics that came in, and I think that they're over on the other side of the room, so those may get shown with the... excuse me, with the next Floss 2 video. Okay, so I'm hoping that as I go through these, if there's multiple things on pattern or whatever, I'll hopefully show you which one I plan to start first. Okay, so the first one is Victorian Holiday. I'll get this down here. Victorian Holiday. And by Blue Whale Designs. And although I still consider myself a new stitcher. I've been at this since 2013 technically, but so many years I haven't done anything. Health reasons, etc. So I still consider myself a new stitcher. And there is so much cross stitch out there that I've never seen. So everything is new to me. So I know when I was showing this to the lady of the house here, she was like, "Oh, well, a lot of that might be older and nobody may want to see it." I want to see it. I want to do it. I'm excited. So the first one here that I'm going to start is the there it is. Okay, so this one, it says, "Christmas love abides in the heart and in the home." So that's the first one I'm going to start from this. I don't have when I'm going to start these yet because I have to see what I have supplies for and what I don't, but that's where that is. The next one is the Practical Sampler. It's an from Eileen Bennett, and it's the Sampler House, from the Sampler House. And I haven't really done many samplers yet, so I'm super, super excited. This looks like it has some specialty stitches, so I'm probably not going to start it right away, but I will be doing this one. This is one. Probably going to try to do all these. I'm going to live forever, right? The next one is another Sampler House, Eileen Bennett. It's called the Southern Sampler. And this one says "Thou shalt not whine" in the middle of it, and it has the rats chasing the rats chasing the cat. So I think I'm probably going to do this sampler before the other one. It's called the Southern Sampler. So it also looks like it has specialty stitches, so that may be there. Actually, it has a whole back page of specialty stitches. I may just do the cross stitch part first and then maybe set it to the side until I feel comfortable. I'll try and practice some of the specialty stitches and then get more comfortable with those. The next one is a Brynwood Needleworks. The design is by, oh gosh, I can't read it. It's in gold on brown. Let's see what it says here. The artist's name is just Donna, but that's not who signed the bottom. An exclusive Brynwood Needleworks designed by, and I can't read that. I have very horrible eyes. I have been very hard on my eyes. So, it says copyright 1994 by Donna C. Liljegren. So I don't know if that's what that says, but anyway, it is called Expect Angels, and I love the little border at the bottom and the top. I really love that. I love the flowers. I think I love everything about this. It's got like 2 specialty stitches in it, and it uses some beads from Gildings. So I'll have to try and find either those beads or complementary beads. So this one will be like the practical sampler, where it'll be done, but it's on the second priorities list, if that's even a thing. Next is a magazine called Cross Quick Easy Projects, for cross stitch lovers, and it's an October-November '89 issue. And how much do I wish I knew about cross stitch back then, right? Because there's so many cute things in here, and there's like instructions on how to finish the cute things. So I think that is kind of what holds me off from a lot of stitching things, is that I don't know how to finish, and the financial obligation behind spending for other people to finish my stuff, which I have experience with. Unless I'm gifting it to somebody, I'm not going to outlay that kind of money on finishing for myself. That's just me being kind of honest. But the first one in here that I'm going to stitch is called, I have to take it off camera here so you know, Honeyed Words. And so if any of you don't understand the love of things honeybee related, and haven't watched some of my older videos, I am very much enamored by people's personal names and where their origin is, and I love to hear the stories about why their family picked those names. My mother picked my first name as she was watching a television show that had a lady named Melissa O'Hara, and a very unheard of actress, and so my mom just decided that was what my name was going to be, because they had expected me to be a boy. My name was supposed to be Kenneth Dwayne, and when I came out a girl, my parents were completely caught off guard and didn't have any idea of a name. And the middle name they chose was from my Aunt Betsy. My Aunt Betty. Her name was Betty Jane, and her daughter had passed away. So they wanted to honor my Aunt Betty by giving me her middle name. So my middle name is Jane. But the name Melissa in the Greek language means honeybee. So I have always gravitated towards bees. I am not allergic to a bee sting, but I am allergic to a wasp sting and hornets and other of those varieties. But I have been stung by multiple honeybees and bumblebees and have not had extreme allergic reactions. This is called honeyed words, and the phrase says, pleasant words are like honeycomb, and it's from Proverbs 16:24. But I love the bee skip and the bees and the flowers and the trees. There's no trees, but there's flowers. But to me, they're trees because they're going up the sides of this. So this is on my, first to start list. It has a, considerable number of threads, so I don't have them all, which I've already looked. But I'm going to see if I have maybe enough to get it started. Because I don't mind doing that. I don't mind starting a project if I don't have all the threads. Because if I run out of threads to stitch on it, I'm sure I have another whip I can stitch on while I'm waiting to shop. In Deck the Halls, this is like kind of a December preview. It's called Colonial Welcome. And another fascination I have is with pineapples. Because they're, they're a form of hospitality and welcome. So I definitely will be doing this one as well. Anyway, that's just, I like that it's a way to put a pineapple in all seasons because it has the more, Christmas time foliage around it, so that I can have a pineapple up during the Christmas season. There's these really cute luminaries. Now I probably won't make them into luminaries. I would probably looks like they're stitched onto bags here, like shopping bags. But I think they would just make wonderful, Halloween decor. And, sometimes I like both. I like the cutesy, friendly Halloween stuff, and I like the kind of creepy Halloween stuff. So I like to find where I can kind of incorporate both. Back when I used to paint ceramics, I always made really cute Halloween pieces, but then I made a ceramic skull that I had used a texture paint for, and so it made it look like the skull was old and crackled, and then it, the eyes were cut out, so I put an orange light inside of it and kind of turned it into a bit of a spooky little lamp, and I loved it. I'm sorry I keep bumping around here, but the puppy's having a little bit of anxiousness, so he's bumping into me here, and he wants me to go back outside, so I'll try and I may have to make this in multiple parts because he may not go for a really long video. Okay, so it's Halloween luminaries, definitely on my, as soon as I have all the stuff for it to be done. There are many more things in here that I'm going to do, but that's just kind of the firsts, if that makes any sense. This is called Floral Charted Designs from Dover Needlework Series by Jana Hochschild. And the flowers in here are gorgeous. I want to do them all. But probably where I will start are these first two, which they're small pictures, but I'm going to do this poinsettias kind of first, and I want to do this roses. But, I mean, they're all just gorgeous flowers. Like, I see where I want to do them all. And then there's more on the front. So, I don't have everything to do those yet, so those are probably going to go on the seconds list, and I'm just kind of clipping things together as there are some that were given me that are the chart only, and so I can't show those, but one is a beautiful eagle in full spread. There's a fun hot chocolate one. There's a fun couple one. There's a tartan bookmark. I mean, there's just some beautiful, beautiful things, and I want to do them all. I haven't found anything yet that I don't want to do. Tina, thank you. I mean, you've just picked everything I want to do. Okay. Next is a Designs by Gloria and Pat book by Ruth J. Moorhead. It's Go Team Go, Team Spirit. Let's hear it. So obviously I'm going to do the cheerleader. One of my best friends has twins, and her daughter is a cheerleader, and her son is a football player. So I expect that those will be the first two I do as gifts, even though they're teenagers. Mama can keep them at her house to remember this time by, or, you know, they may like them when they're older. Now, they have been cheerleading and football since they were small children. So, you know, this would definitely be applicable because they have been doing that all through. They're both multi-sport. The son does play baseball as well, and the daughter does play soccer. So, you know, there's plenty of options on here that I can do. I used to play basketball, and I used to be in a pep squad kind of thing. So I used to follow soccer, professional soccer. I used to play softball. I wish they had, you know, boys and girls doing different things. I kind of wish they had a girl playing baseball so I could make it for me being softball. But anyway, but I love, because little girl, like, yes, that's totally the way I first started playing basketball, was definitely, you know, the alley-oop kind of thing. So, multiples in this that I want to do. The next Gloria and Pat is my antique toy collection, Richard Johnson. And just, this reminds me of a lot of the toys my parents talked about, and some remind me of things that we've done in our lives. So kind of the first one I'm probably going to do, and let me find the official name of the pattern in here. Excuse me. So I'm having to flip pages and kind of not show you what I'm doing because it's flipping past the actual patterns. I think it's just called Pig. Oh my gosh, isn't he adorable? So it's a pig on a cart, and it's got a spinning top, and then it's got a little bank, piggy bank. I mean, I think it's adorable. I love everything about it. I'm definitely going to stitch this. Now, something I have been forgetting through a lot of this channel is many warm memories is my official signature when I sign letters. And it has been since I was small. But I also very much am about keeping memories, documenting memories, and I did not grow up around my extended family very much, so any memories I have with them are super precious. And I have done my family's genealogy, and so memories are something that's very important for me. I am estranged from all of my family now, and as I'm getting older, I just find that I want to remember everything even more. So I think that I will probably start mentioning things that the cross stitching that I'm doing relates to memories in my life. So not only is this, a great toy, and toys that are referenced here, but we had a farm when I was a small child, and we had a little 1-acre farm. We had a lot of animals on that 1 acre, but we had pigs. And one set of pigs, which were our bacon pigs, they were ones that we knew were going to be sent and come back as bacon, were Tom and Jerry. And they were really short, long pigs. And then we had another pig, and her name was Susie Q. So there were other times in life where we had a farm that we worked on. We worked on someone else's very large pig farm, and they made silage for other farmers and from corn. So we helped them, and we lived in their farmhouse, and we ended up rescuing a couple of pigs as babies. One became another Susie. She couldn't walk on one leg, so she had all 4 legs, but her back 2 legs didn't work very well. She could kind of get the third, one of the back legs up, but not very much. So she scooted around on her rump most of the time. And she lived in our utility room in the winter because she had to be bottle fed and she had to be pampered, and our dogs loved her and she made her one of their little friends. So every time I see cross stitches with pigs, it just reminds me of those times. The next one that I'm going to do is the cow. So a cow on a wagon and a block. And I think what I'm going to do is choose one of the other letters on block. And I think I'm going to make it either the B block or a C block. So the B block, the C block obviously would be cow. B block would be my first cow that, no, I'm sorry, not B block, D block. Our first cow was named Daisy, and she was this same cow. So she was I think it's called a Holstein. She looks exactly like this cow. So I would probably make a D block for her. We had another cow later in my kind of preteen years, and she was a brown Swiss, and she was kind of a beige color, and her name was Buttons. So that's where I was thinking about B for a minute. And then we artificially inseminated her, and she had a baby boy, and we named him Trouble. We named him Impossible. He was a lot of trouble. We, my dad and I, we went and we, stocked the whole barn. There's straw and tons of warm areas, and she walks outside in the middle of the snowstorm and bursts the calf right in the middle of the driest as far as it's ground. There's nothing soft for the baby to land in, but coldest because it was snowing. And my dad ran out there, grabbed a bale of straw, kind of slid under her as he was coming out, and knocked his hat off, and he picked it up and put it on the calf's head, and the calf just left it there. But Anyway, lots of memories about cows. But there are tons of other toys. Like, look at the little Alice doll, and then the duck. And I had one of these dolls. I forget their official name, but I had one of these dolls when I was little. I loved because it was squishy and soft, and I cuddled with a lot. And then there's letters, to make names and blocks. So yeah, this one, there's a number of things I'm going to be doing quickly. Not quickly, but be starting. Let me reach down here kind of and grab the next stack. Okay. When I saw this one, I almost cried because I love horses. Okay, so first of all, I'm an animal lover. My first favorite is a dog because I've had dogs all my life, but my second favorite animal is a horse. My parents, that same first farm that we lived on, 1 acre farm, we had a pony, and we purchased her from somebody who, said, she's kind of mean and we really can't do much with her. And, Dad's like, I'm not really looking for a riding horse. I just kind of want to have a horse, so my kids can kind of have a horse. A horse they can go and feed a carrot to and pet and all that kind of stuff. Not realizing that I was going to be the, adventurous child and try to ride her. So I climb up on the wooden fence and jump on her back, with no saddle, no bridle, no nothing. Of course, she immediately, throws me. And her name was Thunder. And when we had a pond that my dad and I dug and made, because we also had ducks and chickens and things like that. So we made a pond, and it froze over. This was in the state of Colorado in the United States. And it froze over a couple of winters, and she would skate across the ice, and we would go out and ice skate on the ice. So I have tons of memories of Thunder. Later on, my teenage years, my freshman year of high school, I had a Appaloosa that I rescued and I showed in barrel racing. So I definitely have a connection to horses. I have gone on horse roundups. I've gone on trail rides. So when I saw this Horses at Dawn, I just fell in instant love, and it's from Cross My Heart, Wildlife Panoramas, Book 2. And it's just a wonderful scene of, kind of the pack of horses on the range in the dawn, and I love everything about this. So this is I'm going to stitch this just as soon as I can gather everything. I love that the chart is printed in larger print for those days when I really can't see what I'm doing. So yeah, Horses at Dawn. This is amongst I'm going to do this sooner rather than later. There are a number of cross-stitch charts that are Disney or Disney-like that I would love. I mean, I probably have a 2-notebook page list of them. But when I saw this one, it's just perfect because when I watched this movie and I listened to this, I have a twofold memory. The first is we used to listen to Disney books on record. So we would read the books and then we would listen to the book on record. And then as movies came out and Beauty and the Beast came out, and the first version I saw was with Angela Lansbury playing the role of Mrs. Potts. So when I received this Mrs. Potts and Chip, I knew I was going to be starting this. It's just, Angela Lansbury is one of my many favorite actresses. And so this is, I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of the designer because I know I will botch it. So that is their website. But this is, yes, in my, I'm going to be stitching this sooner rather than later pile. So I was raised almost 50% city life, country life. My parents were military, U.S. military, and after they retired from the military, we were in different businesses where we moved frequently. So sometimes we would move to areas that were very rural, and we would live a rural lifestyle, and sometimes we would live in mid-sized city, big cities. I've never really lived in a super, like, capital city downtown, but pretty much every other size city I've lived in. But one of the favorite things with my extended family was the few family reunions we would have. We would go camping, and we would go exploring different areas of the southwestern portion of Colorado, and we would go to Box Canyon, and we would go more up towards the more central north of the state. And anyway, one of the things that we would do is go fishing. Us cousins would, grab a pole, grab a stick, grab a string, whatever we could find, and go fishing. So this is Do They Bite? And it's an X's and O's needlework design by Joe Gatenby and James Lorimer, based on the artwork of James Lorimer. There we go. I love the colors. I love fall is my favorite season, so I love the fall colors. I love the watermill here. I love the fishing. So this is one that I see, and then I'm looking at the back of this, the X's and O's, and how did I not know about them? They have such wonderful, wonderful art. There's a Century Farm and a Homestead and Kerstead Meal, like all of these I want to do. A horse collection, a dragon. I mean, they just have. So there's quite a few colors here that I don't have, and I'm not sure if the fabric that I have thinking of doing this on is going to work. But as soon as I get all that figured out, we'll be working on that. Okay. Some know I'm a big child. And, excuse me, my eye is itching. I'm suffering really bad from allergies, and as each year goes by, I'm kind of getting worse and worse, more and more things I'm allergic to. So, the allergies are kind of bad right now. Okay, so this is a Precious Moments, and it is designs by Gloria and Pat, but this is Precious Moments in miniature. So this is intended to make little teeny miniatures that I would love to envision on a Christmas tree. In fact, that's what they show two different uses. One is as Christmas tree ornaments, and one is in blocks for a quilt. So because I am not a sewer yet, I think I would more likely be able to, find some small hoops and turn them into these kind of ornaments before I would be able to make a full quilt. But I love all of the options. So I'm just kind of the Precious Moments. I love them all. But the first one, I think I was going to do, let me see if I can find it. Is, yeah. And it's just going to be perfect. I'm sorry, did I show the chart? I don't know how to edit yet. So, oops, where is she? There she is. The little girl with the bunny. I think that's just going to be the first one I start with. Even though I probably won't get it started much before Easter. I love her. I've had bunnies before, as you can probably guess, being a farm girl. But long before we lived on a farm, we were in Louisiana, and we had a couple of baby bunnies there, and we had Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail. That's just seemed to fit, and we love them. So, you know, the little girl holding the bunny definitely probably is the first one I'm going to do. The second one is going to be the little girl skater, because I ice skated when I was little. And I think that I'm going to choose to pick the Precious Moments ones that connect to my life, my experiences more than like to my nieces and nephews. Originally, when I first looked at this, I was like, oh, I'm going to pull all the things that my nieces and nephews did and do ones for them. But not that I wouldn't mind sending things to them, but last I heard, everything I sent was thrown in the trash. So I would rather, maybe when I'm older, I'll make some for them and then just leave them for them posthumously, and then I won't know. But I mean, they're just, I love them all. Like, you know, the crown and the choir and the little boy with the bear and the wreath. Let's not tear up the book. I'm just going to kind of go through them here. I will probably do one of the angels in memory of my ectopic pregnancy. I've never had children of my own. I will probably do the little girl ballerina in memory of my first fiance and I. We had his children for a number of years, and she and I would all the time dance around, not dancing ballet, but we would all the time just dance around the house. And then for his, in memory of his son, I am probably going to do the, his son is still alive though, but Terry has passed on. I will probably do the airplane for multiple reasons. One, we lived not far from an Air Force base, and I would take him kind of as close as we could get to the base, and he would sit and watch planes take off. So that's probably the one I will do for Alan. So there's numbers of ones in here I'm going to do, and it's, you know, amongst the list of ones that I'm going to be starting with. There were some other some of the patterns have been copied or cut, so there's that. This next booklet is another Gloria and Pat. It's called Expressions of Love by Gail and Ken Brown. And I'm going to start off with the first one, which is Love Seeds. It says, love is something to scatter, love is something to sow. Where it lands doesn't matter, for love seeds always grow. The quote is Dave Wadley. So this will be the first one that I start from this, Love Seeds. I just think it's gorgeous. These shades of greens are amongst some of my favorite shades of greens. I just think they're gorgeous. And, you know, the the combination of kind of the mauvey rosy colors with the mixed in with more, I guess on the back you see it's kind of a little bit more bubblegummy kind of colors up in here. But I love many of these. Being estranged from my mother, the mother one is hard for me, but I want to do it anyway. So, mother to one who bears the sweetest name and adds a luster to the same. Long life to her, for there's no other who walks the place of my dear mother. So yeah, I definitely want to do that one. Have faith and trust in the Lord. His mercy and love are everlasting. I want to do this one as well. So I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing many of the ones that are in here. But there are, not only just the cute floral ones, there are some sweet child ones like, now I awake from peaceful rest to love this day and be my best. Guide me, Jesus, through the day. Protect me as I work and play. Amen. And I'm definitely going to do this one. And then more things are wrought by prayer. More things are wrought by prayer than this world dreams of. So I see a ton in here I'm going to do. Desire to do, want to start all the things immediately. I have a feeling the person who gave this to me probably read this one, and I think I'm going to stitch it thinking of her. It's take time. Take time to say a kindness. Take time to smell a flower. Take time to thank the Lord who blesses us each hour. I don't know her religious affiliation, but to me, the kindness that she has shown me is definitely indicative of this. And then there's a slow me down, Lord, let me pause to appreciate your glorious creation. It has pansies on it, which I love pansies as well. So I can't pick a favorite flower. I used to always think my favorite flower was a lilac. And then, of course, roses, but, hyacinths. For a long time, big lilies were my favorites. And then I just think I like flowers. I think if someone says, what's my favorite flower? I'm like one on a stem. Like, I love flowers. So, but speaking of pansies, as we just finished pansies, I don't have a picture of it, it's Vic's pansy seeds from the Cross Stitch Studio, and I'm putting that on my list of ones to stitch. Even though I'm estranged from my immediate family, I have friends that I consider family. And so I love stitching things in memory of them or to give to them. And I have one who I'm thinking of in particular that I want to make the Tooth Fairy pillows for. So they have a boy and a girl, so I expect to do both of those. I am a huge Marilyn Levitt emblem fan. I think in many groups, when I'm asked who my favorite designer is, it's her, because I love all three of her aesthetics: the Told in the Garden, the done under Told in the Garden, done under Butternut Road, and done under Lavender and Lace. But this one is one I've seen, I've never gotten. I love it. I'm going to do it. It says, a gathering of roses, a gift of love for you. May all your days be filled with joy and all your dreams come true. And I think I'm going to start this one on my birthday this month. So, thank you. That's, as you see, I'm putting so many in the stitch sooner rather than later pile, huh? This is Healing the Pain cross-stitch design. It says some lives go on forever in the hearts and minds they touch. I love this. So it was designed as a commemorative sampler in remembrance of those who were touched by the tragic bombing of the Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City on April 19, 1995. Its design offers peaceful comfort to anyone who has suffered a loss. It symbolizes the shock, sadness, memories, and thoughts we all feel when losing someone dear to us. But more than despair, it also symbolizes the caring, mending, and hope that eventually emerges from a loss. This design is intended to offer, comfort. Excuse me. No, baby, don't scratch me. This design is intended to offer comfort in the time of despair. I'm going to do this. I remember this day. It's the day before my birthday. I'm going to do it. I love it. I love the sentiment. I love the design. So, yes, I'm going to. No scratch me, baby. No scratch me. Another Designs by Gloria and Pat is Love One Another. And as we all know, we need a lot of this. But I'm going to kind of do it a little different, I think. So this is one of the patterns it shows is, hands holding hands from different countries. But I think that I'm going to use this to commemorate lots of different things. So one is there are a couple of countries in here that I have large portions in my heritage. So I am a Heinz 57. There are probably close to 57 variations of blood in my bloodlines. But my five times great-grandfather, or six, anyway, many back, was a gentleman who came from France, and his last name was Chevron, and he came to the U.S. escaping religious persecution, and was part of the early Methodist churches in the United States. So I'm definitely going to do the male from France, and then I'll be putting his name. And then my another huge side of my bloodline is Scottish on my mother's side, and there is not a Scotland reference in here, but I think there's enough other countries' references I might be able to kind of pull it. But the next one is my grandmother is 100% Swedish. My grandmother on my dad's side, she came from Sweden, and she was disowned from her family when she married a poor farmer instead of, marrying who they wanted her to. So I will be making the Swedish girl, and putting my grandmother's full name there. But I would love to kind of do all of these. That they're playful, they're fun, they're gorgeous. I like this kind of idea of kind of finishing them and maybe doing an around the world. If I ever get all my belongings together, I have kind of a largish size globe, and I think I would like to do an around the world kind of thing. Like have the globe on a table and maybe the wall around it have, all these different. I'm probably going to be doing the Japan, altering her slightly to be a Korean dress for my friend. So there's multiple uses, and I might stitch some of these multiple times. My my last love was Mexican. And so I might take the girl from the US and the boy from the Mexican and stitch them together. So that would be him. And then here's the American girl. Here she is. I'm gonna do this whole thing for 4th of July, and then I will be doing her with the Mexican. So the boy is hollering at me to go outside, so I believe that this is where I'm going to have to stop this for now, and then I will come back with a part 2. So please keep enjoying stitching your warm memories, and I hope to see you again soon, and thank you all for being here.